again, Tequila Army, and welcome to another review by General Agave. So, today we have a special bottle, one that's actually kind of difficult for most of you to get out there. This is a San Matias Gran Reserva Extra Anejo. However, as you can tell by some of the labeling up top here, this one is actually the Mexican version, right? So this one, unlike the one that you can get here in the United States, is actually a Mixto, and I know we don't do a lot of Mixtos. This may actually be the first one that we're doing on this channel, but this one is worth looking into. If you are completely against Mixtos and only focus on that 100% blue agave, I think this one might be an eye-opener for you. So we're going to take a look at San Matias Gran Reserva Extra Anejo, the Mexican version, which is a Mixto. So this tequila here, it comes from number 1103, okay? Casa San Matias. This is also the same home for Corazon, Rey del Sol, or Rey Sol, I believe. And this is actually one of the first ever Extra Añejos. I believe in 1993, they actually released the first ever Extra Añejo, and it was kind of a version of this from what I understand. So this is kind of special, and we're talking 1993. As you guys know out there in the Tequila Army, Extra Añejos are still difficult to come by in a lot of areas of the country of the United States. And it's kind of been a relatively new phenomenon over the last 10 to 15 years where the interest has picked up in that. So for them to be doing it back in 1993, that's kind of a huge thing, right? So when it comes to this, this is cooked in brick ovens for 48 hours at around 194 degrees, I believe. It is twice distilled, roller mill processed, right? And it's fermented in, distillation takes place in stainless steel pots. The fermentation process is actually open air, and I believe original wood vats. So that's really unique as well. So we're definitely going to take a look at this. This is aged in a combination of New French and New American oak. And like I said, this is a Mixto. And for those of you who don't know what that means that this is 51% blue agave at a minimum, right? So it could be a little bit higher, it could be a little bit lower. We really don't know. But the remainder can use other sugars. So oftentimes cane sugar is used. You can even use things like corn syrup. In this case, we really don't know what exactly is being used for this Mixto combination. But we're going to take a taste here, we're going to sample it, and we're going to see what you think of it, all right? Or what I think of it today. Once again, this one was from Mexico. I picked this up a couple years back. Actually, I picked up several of these because, believe it or not, in Mexico, I was able to get this bottle of the Extra Añejo for, I think, like $18, $19. So I picked up maybe even a case, and this is kind of down to the last bottle. As a matter of fact, you can tell behind me, I think I've got one on the shelf behind me there as well. Now, when it comes to the American version, like I said, it is 100% blue agave for the American version, and we'll get our hands on a bottle of that soon. It's not sold here in Ohio, but I know I can pick it up in Kentucky, so I think I'm going to take a trip down to Kentucky and we'll get a bottle and maybe do a side-by-side comparison. But for now, let's go ahead and open this up. Now, this is a screw top, no cork here, and it's got a funky pouring mechanism on the top that a lot of you might not necessarily be used to seeing. But here we go. It kind of acts like an aeration as well. And you got to give it a weird... I always have some issues getting this to pour. Here we go. Come on. It is so not pouring for me, guys. And I know somebody out there is going to leave messages in the comments about how simple this is to actually pour. But we are... Hey, there we go. Oh, man, that's a party foul. We definitely got some spillage there. Kind of had to give it a little shake there. Oh, wow. The fruitiness I'm already getting on the nose from that little bit of spillage is pretty incredible. So once again, we're looking at this San Matias Gran Reserva Extra Añejo. Now this is a Mixto, And if we take a look there, we got a nice swirl on that. It is a beautiful caramel color. And like I said, I already got some fruitiness on the nose during that little party foul there, right? So let's go ahead and take a nose here. So I am getting that fruitiness. It's almost like a cherry smell that I'm getting on the nose. Reminiscent of maybe a well-aged bourbon, believe it or not. Lots of caramel, lots of vanilla. There is still some cooked agave coming through. But I can't get over the fruitiness mixed in there with a little caramel, maybe vanilla, even butter. Yeah, there's definitely some butter coming through there as well, but real fruity, real cherry coming through on this one, which is interesting. So let's go ahead and give this here a taste and see what we think before I spill more. Wow. Very medium bodied. The first thing you notice is it truly kind of wraps around the tongue. Very, very well, actually. It has been a little while since my trip to Mexico was a couple years ago when I picked up this bottle, and this is the last of that case. I think I might have given away one or two along the line as well. So this is kind of the last, and I actually have been holding on to this one for quite a while. So it's been a bit since I've actually drank it. And when it comes through on that flavor, very strong caramel. I am getting that cherry. A sweet yet dark cherry flavor that comes through, real rich with some finishing with some vanilla there. Again, I would say 9 times out of 10, anyone who is into tequila, all of you out there in the Tequila Army, if I poured this for you, I would bet 9 times out of 10 nobody knows it's a Mixto. They would just assume this is 100% agave. You are getting some of that cooked agave in the mid palate on this. It's real buttery, real creamy texture to it, real creamy mouthfeel. But definitely coats the glass well. This is... yeah, it's delicious, guys. I ain't gonna lie. For a Mixto, and guess what, guys? Like I said, I got this for $18, $19 a bottle in Mexico. The reality is, the American version, I think you might get for somewhere between $50 and $70. For the 100% agave version that's sold here in the United States, which, like I said, we'll get our hands on that one. We'll give it a try. But for today, what we've got is this Mexican version. If you can get a bottle or two of this, overlook the fact that it's a Mixto. Pick up a bottle of this. You will not be disappointed. As a matter of fact, guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's super smooth. I'm going to have to give this maybe an 8, and it's knocked a 1.5 by being a Mixto. But it is delicious. If you really want to enjoy it, it's not too sweet. I know I talk about the caramel and the vanilla in there, but it's not too sweet either. Like, you still get that very, very earthy richness, and you get that agave coming through. So it's not, maybe even a hint of hazelnut, now that I think about it. Definitely not too sweet, but very, very delicious. Easy sipper all day long. You could sip this day after day after day and not be disappointed, and still be surprised every time you have to tell somebody that this is actually a Mixto and is not a 100% agave. So, with that, Tequila Army, tell me what you think. Have you had the American version? If you have, tell me what it's like down in the comments. I haven't had the American version yet. So go ahead and drop that in the comments for me below. If you like what you heard today, if you enjoyed this video, if you are thinking about picking up a bottle of this for yourself, by all means, tell us about it down in the comments, and make sure you hit that like and subscribe so you're the first to get those updates when we do some reviews and we do some blind tastings with friends that are coming up soon. So thanks again, Tequila Army. This is General Agave signing off. Enjoy some tequila.